What's happening, y'all? What's happening? What's happening, Breakthrough Crew? Breakthrough Crew, what's happening? Get everybody up in here. Okay, posted everywhere. All right, let's see. We don't have anybody join us tonight. I know I'm a little later than usual, but I figured now is better than never, right? Pin message. Cool. Cool. Close my Facebook. All right, let's get this thing cracking, man. Yeah, that feels right there. That's a little spicy, but that feels right there. That feels absolutely right. Who we got joining us tonight? Somebody hopped on. Regardless of anybody get on tonight, I'm still continuing with my message, by the way. It just won't be as long. Per usual, got my cigar. Stick of the night is Camacho. Camacho cigar. Camacho. This is a medium. Mild as far as strength. I don't know the size of this, but it's Camacho. And what I'm drinking on tonight, I had to take the branding off because they ain't sponsoring me, so I took the branding of the bottle off. But the drink is 1800 tequila coconut mixed with some blue juice. All right. Just left the gym, so I may be overtly sweating. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get my John Savilli on. John Savilli. You know what I'm saying? But so I'm a little tired. Probably should be drinking liquor right after a gym workout, but we doing it anyway. You know what I'm saying? All right, so who we got up here tonight? Who joining me tonight? I know I ain't the only one drinking tonight. We got a good topic tonight. Something I need to touch on. It's cold outside. I'm tired, but we gonna do it tonight. I told myself I'm gonna show up for y'all tonight, no matter how late it is. Demecos gonna be there because that's what type of person I am. I'm gonna do the work. I don't care what time of the day it is, and that's how you should approach your cloud tech career. No matter the time of day, you show up, you study, you do your projects, you apply for your roles, you do your interviews, you get the job, you get your first job offer, boom, you change your life, and your work ethic doesn't stop because of a time period, because of how late it is. If the objective has to be completed by you, you need to do whatever it takes to complete the objective, especially if it leads up to the overall goal of working in cloud tech engineering and changing the rest of your life. Beast mode activated. Hoodie came from Temu. But who we got on tonight? Who we got on? Announce yourself. Say something. Oh, that's good. That's good. Today has been a quite busy day, but that's every day. So anyway, I want to go kind of get into it. Stuff got me feeling good. Last time I got a little, every time I get on live with y'all and drink a little bit, I get a little buzz. I'm trying to get too saucy with y'all tonight, but we're gonna have a good time. So the topic I wanted to talk about today was cloud core servers. Oh, actually, it's supposed to say cloud core services. Let me change that. 1 second. Let me get that right. Services. Services. Too many words. Special. What's happening, Ricky? Ricky. You get that a lot, Ricky? All right, let me pin this message. Let me remove this. What you drinking on tonight, Rick? You know what I'm saying? Last week you didn't tell me what you was drinking on, but tonight I need to know what you're drinking on. What you drinking on? He said all the time. Out here using it to your advantage. You know, I was in the group originally. You know, it was originally 5 of us. You know, but I had to go to school. The group I'm referring to, for those who not in the States and not familiar, is Pretty Ricky. But back to the topic. Why learning your cloud core services, why they're important, and how they lead to specialty cloud careers. This is why it's essentially important to study this stuff when you're doing your studying for your certifications. We don't get fundamental certifications. We get associate level certifications here. When you learn first off, what are your cloud core services? Your cloud core services make up cloud infrastructures for most companies of tech infrastructures around the globe that utilize the cloud. That's your storage, meaning how they store their data. You have your security, which is how they secure their data. You have your networking, which is how they communicate with the different services and servers within the infrastructure, the networking infrastructure. And then the fourth one is, I forgot what the fourth one was: storage, security, networking, and I forget what the fourth one is. Did I name 3? Yeah, drink getting to me already. I forgot what the fourth one is off the top of my head. Somebody Google cloud core services. What are the cloud core services? And let me know what that fourth service is. So while somebody finds that, what I mean by that is when you can start studying cloud, you're going to learn about the core services. You're going to learn about what's the storage aspect, meaning what our elastic block storages are in AWS. I forget off the top of my head what they're called in Azor, but EBS volumes in AWS, file storage, databases. Yeah, databases is the fourth service. So with these four services, if you learn each of them, you're going to learn each of them, no matter what certification you get. You're going to have to learn what each of them are because they interact with every aspect of cloud. All right, no matter what you're trying to do. But let's start with something like storages. So storage is dealing with just to make it simple. Actually, we want to make it more simpler. They're going to do databases. So if you start with databases and you're learning about databases, you learn about PostSQL databases, you learn about MySQL databases, you learn about Microsoft SQL databases, you learn about all these Aurora databases, you learn about all these databases. The thing that's so pivotal about it, you're learning it to obtain a certain certification. That's great. But here's the trick. If you do cloud projects if you do about 4 to 5 cloud projects that specialize in cloud database projects, that can be integrating a cloud database, that can be migrating a cloud database, that can be building various architecture type of cloud databases, that can be protecting a cloud database. Those areas, if you do about 4 projects, those will be enough projects to build the skill enough for you to consider yourself to have a specialty skill when it comes to cloud storage databases. Now, why is that important? because instead of you applying for cloud engineering roles alone, you can also apply for cloud database administrator roles. Ah, didn't know that. Yeah. You can apply for cloud data administrator roles, database administrator roles, and you might likely land those before you land a cloud engineer role. A cloud engineer role is kind of general. You're kind of generalist and kind of good at a lot of things, or at least you have a fundamental understanding of a lot of the cloud infrastructure. But when you specialize, it just makes it more easier for you to, it really helps you get into the cloud, your first cloud tech role faster. And the pay is still the same. It's still the same money. Like a database administrator now, I think on average, they make about 80 to 90. And you can come in making about 75 to 80, which is good money, right? But that's just cloud database. Now keep in mind, as you're learning cloud database and becoming a cloud database administrator or studying for it, that means you have to, in doing these projects, you're going to learn the particular programming language that database specializes in. Like you're going to learn PostgreSQL, SQL commands. You're going to learn about how databases work. You're going to learn about AWS migration tool. You're going to learn about, I think Azor is called Azor Box, which is a migration tool for databases. Like you're going to learn all these idiosyncrasies about databases, and it's going to help you, again, prepare you to become a database administrator versus just trying to become a cloud engineer. You can do both. All right. That's just one area of core services, specializing in one core service, specializing in another area. So such as networking. Networking covers, a lot of people don't know, but networking, you can start the same way, path. You're learning about your cloud. You're trying to get your solutions arc certifications or whatever, your general cloud certification, and you're going to learn about networking anyway. What you say, you get curious and say, I really like this networking thing. I want to dive deeper into it. I want to do three or four cloud networking projects. So you learn how to set up a VPC. You learn how to peer multiple VPCs together. You learn how to build a multiple tier architecture structure where there's multiple private subnets and within multiple public subnets. You learn how to do S53 route. I know I'm throwing a lot of terms out there that you're probably not familiar with yet because a lot of y'all still haven't dived into your studies yet, and some of you all have. So I'm kind of talking your lane too. But I'm getting you to the point of understanding when you're studying to become a cloud engineer, you can pivot into specialty areas like any other field and still make a great life living for yourself. And the work-life balance of the work demand that you'll be doing, you might oftentimes find that it's a lot more laxed in these specialty fields than it is in the cloud engineering role itself. So network, again, going back to networking, you can become a cloud network engineer, a senior cloud network engineer, right? And they have all types of varied tasks that they're responsible for. All right, it's not overly, none of this stuff is complicated. All it takes is really you just repetitively doing projects in that niche area. Going into security, I wanted to highlight security because everybody does. So we do have a boot camp where we teach cloud security, and everybody wants to do cybersecurity. So going into cloud security, a lot of people don't know, but IAM, Identity Access Manager, managing permissions of users, is a security role. That's a security specialty. It falls in the security realm. So you don't have to only learn security from a stance of protecting the network from virus attacks, such as brute force. You can also secure a network you can work for a company by being a IAM role in IAM engineer. That's the title for it. And they're getting more clever. Well, not clever. They're getting more granular not granular. They're getting more just more, the naming convention of these roles are starting to vary. Like it used to be kind of simplified a year ago, but now but more and more companies become more cloud mature, they're kind of niching it into these type of roles, specialty roles, into exactly what they're doing. Like for today, I got an email on LinkedIn somebody wanted a staff engineer. I never heard of a staff engineer, but I looked at the role and saw that they wanted somebody who had familiarity with Azure, managing users basically in Azure, and also somebody with some C# or .NET experience as well. Those C# is programming language, .NET is a framework. You can learn .NET in no time. I thought it was like this crazy thing, but when I was a cloud administrator in Germany, I was setting up .NET frameworks. I was like, damn, this is all this it to? But anyway, man, Ricky, you never told me what you drinking on, man. Am I making sense to y'all so far? Yeah, y'all know y'all got to talk to me. I got to get some feedback. You know what I'm saying? Usually my nightly crew, I'm a little late, tonight. So they not really. They probably went to sleep on me, got tired. They're gonna see this in the morning or later on in the week and comment. So shout out to them. You know, for always, especially Yusuf. We know Yusuf in bed. It's got to be like 2 in in London right now. But hopefully I'm making sense to you. Just water tonight. Man, Ricky. Sorry, that was my sister-in-law calling. Yeah. So anyway, Ricky, you got to be drinking more than just water, bro. He said, "Well, you got an early morning. All right, I respect it, and it might be late where you at. So no, you just drink your water. Let me be the irresponsible one. I drink for the both of us. Ricky, how about that? Well, Ricky, am I making sense to you? Like, am I saying anything that's am I talking over, saying anything over your head? Am I confusing you at all? Am I saying anything that's too complicated? Am I just not making sense? What Azor certification? Sorry about that. You said what Azor certification is good for IAM role? Okay, so that's a good question. SC300. SC300. That is a great certification for Azure IAMs. It's a security, it qualifies as a security cert. In fact, if you get the SC200 along with the Azure 400, which is the administrative certification, guess what that's going to make you? A cloud security Azure architect. You'll be an Azure cloud security architect. Whoo, you'll be a beast in. Woo, it's going to be hard for anybody to turn you down in. With being an Azure cloud security architect, whoo. But anyway, with that SC 300 certification, I think it's the Identity Access Management certification. Let me make sure I'm getting that right. Let me see. Google. Andy, Google. Let's see. Azure SC. Oh, SC 300. Yeah, I said it right. All right, cool. Well, actually, I want to say it to it. Yep, Microsoft Identity Access Administrator. And actually, it's actually not that complicated of a cert to study for. So, and you can gain it pretty quickly. I think it's only like a week's worth of time to get through the study material. But more importantly, you need to make sure you do your Azure IAM project. So you need to be able to configure a mass amount of users, importing them via PowerShell into Azure. Like I think it's called subscriptions in Azure. But anyway, you need to be able to do things like add like 200 users to Active Directory or change their membership type and things like that. Again, these projects are easily available online that are more than resourceful in helping you out on creating powerful IAM projects in Azure. So always say certs and projects, not just certifications, certs and projects, because companies getting tired of y'all walking into these companies, getting hired on and not knowing what you're doing because you only have your certifications, but you have not done any of the work. So get that, do your projects, but that certification is powerful. It's a beast. it's a beast. It can get you into a lot of roles. So, but yeah, that can definitely lead to getting you access to a security role, and most importantly, an IAM role. And you never know, really. You can just be a Azure IAM specialist for a company, but they may also have you doing some AWS IAM work as well, or some Google service account work as well. Because you're going to learn as you're studying cloud, it's all fundamentally the same. Just the naming conventions and the depth of service that the cloud provider provides only differs. But most of the cloud fundamentals are all the same. So hopefully that answers your question. Makes perfect sense. I'm in cybersecurity analyst, so I'm taking notes. Good. Man, how is being a cybersecurity analyst? I always wanted to ask that. What you think about that? Because I see so many people trying to work hard to get into cybersecurity, that they want that cybersecurity analyst role, which I think is like equivalent to like a cloud help desk role. But you tell me what you think of the role. But cloud is where it's at, baby. Come on, man. The water's fine over here. Come get in this cloud security. And I wonder if you're working with Azure already, Ricky. What cloud platform are you working with currently? What's happening, everybody? Dalton, did I answer your question, by the way? Did that make sense to you? I always try to ask, did that make sense? Because I always hated attending seminars or attending Q&As or whatever, and I ask a question and that person never really answers my question. They kind of talk around the answer that I needed, and they never double back to make sure I understood what they're saying. I always want to make sure that you understand what I'm saying. Okay, cool. A little GCP. Cool. Okay, so you're probably doing with a little AWS. That's interesting. I wonder if they have you all just whitelisting and blacklisting IPs in cybersecurity analyst role. Like, I wonder to what capacity they have you all working with AWS. GCP is great, man. I don't get a lot of questions about GCP, and it's funny because GCP certifications, and it's been like that the entire year. In fact, GCP's market share value has grown tremendously fast, which is a whole nother conversation. But GCP certifications are the highest certifications on the market, meaning they're leading in income and job. They're leading in earnings for job roles for engineers who have their certifications. Now, the caveat to that they don't tell you is a lot of times those who hold those certifications are already in these high earning roles. Google be kind of finessing a lot. I ain't gonna lie to you, they be finessing. But I will say, getting those Google Cloud certifications, not the little IT support certifications. I'm talking about the Google Cloud Engineer, the Google Security, the Google professional certifications. Those are gold. You might mess around and get AWS, a company that's primarily AWS or Azure, because you have your Google Cloud professional certification. Those things are gold, man. Gold. I've tried to take the cloud professional certification for Google Cloud twice this year and failed it. And it was both my fault. You know what I'm saying? Both my fault. But you keep that back. You keep that back, baby. I have some Azure experience at my role. Oh, Dalton, okay, cool. You're getting a lot, man. So, like, if I was you trying to work on the cloud role, I'd be finessing my resume to highlight your interactions with the cloud. Even though you're a cybersecurity engineer, you can talk about how you've been interacting with Azure or Google Cloud. But you should definitely go after Azure security roles. That's hot, man. Azure is just so cool. Well, I'm gonna tell you why. Because most people don't know Azure. There's a lot, like most engineers don't know Azure, and they just don't like Azure because Azure isn't sexy. It's not as popular as AWS, and it's not as sexy as Google Cloud. It's kind of like blue collar cloud platform branded by the brand. And I think more so because of how it's marketed and because it's attached to nostalgia of Microsoft, is not a lot of engineers just are interested in learning Azure. But man, it is so lucrative if you are an Azure expert in any realm. If you have any type of Azor specialty with data, whether that be databases, whether that be cloud storage, whether that be security, whether that be I forgot the fourth one again. Y'all got to tell me the fourth one. I said security, databases, networking, and storage. Yeah. If you have a specialty knowledge in Azor with any of those realms, you should do really, really well. Should do really, really well. What other cloud questions you all have? That's kind of actually all the info I really wanted to relay to you all tonight. That don't sleep on specialties. Specializing. You can specialize in one thing and still pursue the general cloud engineering roles. You can do both. Like there's no either or. I was watching this one video one time. He was like, some people trap themselves by marginalize themselves by trying to specialize. And one of the things that I felt is that I feel like a lot of people don't specialize enough. And I say that because working in roles, in multiple cloud engineering roles for multiple organizations, big corporate companies, we just don't have enough efficient engineers, especially those who have specialty skills. You know, we always having to we're tinkering and figuring things out on our own because, you know, we might not be specialists ourselves and nobody on the team, on the organization is a specialist in this area. Or if they are, they're bottlenecked because they're bottled down with so much work because they're the only specialists. It's only like 1 or 2 specialists per company, you know, and they're burdened by all the requests for this particular area. So they need all the help they can get. But if you're not showing up in these positions, applying for these roles and positions and networking, showing that you're available in the market, you know, posting about the type of specialty work that you're doing so that recruiters and hiring managers know that you're out there and you're available, then they're not going to, then you're going to miss out on the opportunities that are out there for you to be specialists in these companies that are specialty deprived, if that makes sense, when it comes to cloud engineering roles. Currently, IT support engineer, network engineer. Dalton, you're doing good, man. That's great. I respect that. That's great, man. You're really on a good track. Really good track. Keep grinding away. I respect that. I love to see that. So if you even pivoted into cloud security or cloud networking, either way, you can win. You can definitely win if you do cloud networking. And definitely. I'll tell you what, for instance, like there's a company I worked for recently. We did not have a network engineer, administrator. And what we did have one, but he was so overloaded. He was always busy. And so we just needed help. We needed more, you know? So, but y'all on the outside, you don't know because you just don't know. You're not on the inside yet. And I be wanting to push y'all to push yourselves to do the work it takes to get to the other side. Come join me in the cloud, you know, as a cloud professional, so that you can get access to all these opportunities. You'd be so surprised if you're a specialist, you're coming in with a specialist, how lenient companies will be to your work life. Like they'll be like, I understand you got a job here, or we understand you can only work these certain amount of hours. But because you are a specialist and they need a specialist, they need a go-to person that can solve their particular problems, they're willing to be lenient under that, like on some hush-hush, like, all right, we keep this between us, you know, your work schedule between us. If anybody asks, you work at 8 to 5, but between us, we understand if you can only work from 7 to noon and tap in every other so often at night around 6 or 7 just to check and make sure things are cool. Like I'm telling you, man, it's such the wild, wild west right now in cloud technology because it's so brand new. They are desperate for talent. Companies are starving for talent. They're losing so much money because of a lack of talent. And I make the content I make to try and encourage the breakthrough crew to break through, you know, get to the other side of where I'm at and beyond and expect and gain all these opportunities. Because I can't get all the roles myself. I can't work all the roles myself. I don't want to work all the roles myself. You know, I need you all to come capitalize on all this opportunity. And then once you get on, you help others get on. You know, that's how it works. So specialty roles is where it's at. Y'all kind of quiet on me tonight, man. Yeah, my usual suspects ain't here. They usually rowdy and get me turned up, and they drinking with me. Y'all on water diets tonight. Y'all gotta work in the morning. Now I appreciate y'all for being here, for real, for real. But I'm trying to see, is there any more y'all got any more questions before I see if I have any remaining areas of this topic to discuss. Ooh, that drink feels so good. Never knew I needed that after a great workout. Maybe it's the workout and the tequila and the cigar. And then I'm talking to y'all because the endorphins are flowing right now. And my wife is home. And she looking good tonight, as she always do. But don't tell her I said that because her head already big for But yeah, specialize. Don't be afraid to specialize. You can specialize and still pursue your general vision at the same time. So if you want to be an architect, if you want to be an cloud engineer, you can still do that while also doing specializing, doing specialty projects. So you can do cloud engineer projects and cloud solutions architect projects, but you can also still do networking, purely cloud networking projects, purely cloud security, purely cloud storage. I didn't dive into cloud storage a lot, but it is a need for it. And I really didn't dive into it because I know it, but I'm not I don't know it as well as I know databases, networking, and security. Like as much as, especially in Azor, I don't really know Azor storage like that unless I looked at it and it came back to me. But like as far as cloud storages, I know mostly just about EBS volumes, file storage servers, which is a FSX server in AWS. That's about it off the top of my head. But those are pivotal. Here's why. Because cloud companies, they need to be able to, so EBS, so blocks, so storage is S3. That's why. I'm tripping. I know a lot about storage. S3 buckets, S3, 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 S3. Google Cloud has their own storage as well. And Azure is called blobs. Here's why storages are pivotal. Like there's literally companies out there that will hire you because you're an S3 engineer, because you specialize in S3s. You specialize in storage buckets, because companies waste so much data and money storing, mismanagement of storing files. But I mean, like y'all don't really get it, but some of y'all in the field, you get it. All right. A company will have data, will back data up to a storage block server, which is basically just a storage server, a server that just stores data. Will back company up to like an EBS volume or something, and then also back data up to an S3 bucket, and then but don't apply S3 intelligence or any kind of lifecycle policy to it that archives the data or deletes the data after a certain period of time. So they're just storing data and data and data. So they have hundreds and hundreds of gigabytes of data just sitting there, and that costs money. They may be costing them like $10,000, $12,000, $26,000, $32,000, $515,000 a year, a month, a week. Just leaking, we call it cloud waste. That's a huge thing in the industry right now among those in the field. Is cloud waste, so much cloud waste going on because there's not enough. There's a lot of bureaucracy with the executives not knowing mismanagement of storage due to issues that can be pointed towards everybody. But at the end of the day, it's poor management of storage. And that's something that database engineers, cloud database engineers, fix and troubleshoot. They have all type of scripts and everything that can easily filter out data, that can store data how it should be stored, because they understand PHI data, and there's another type of medical data, but you can't, you have to store that data for like 3 years or so before you delete it. But they know how to minimize that data to where it's not just big space clumps of raw data, where it's more so tightened data, and archived away into a glacier or something. Literally, that's a storage class, is a glacier. To save them costs, the storage. That's the thing about storage engineers, S3 engineers. They also are responsible for allowing and creating access, who and what has access to what buckets, storage buckets, etc. It's true. A lot of companies are moving back to on-premise because cloud's getting too expensive. What's happening, Jacqueline? Jacqueline, what you sipping on? Joe, first off, what you sipping on too? So, all right. So to answer your question, is it true that clouds are moving back to on-premise because of the cost? Because the cost is getting expensive. Some companies are, and when I say some, I'm talking about smaller companies. Like it's like anything else. It's like somebody's, like everybody, like a lot of people are buying gas efficient cars, but some people just want their old schools. It's the same thing, but it's not enough to where it's affecting the market. Where it's like, oh, there's a demigration going on. No, there's a few companies out there, they didn't like cloud anyway. They don't like the new tech trend, the cloud. They think cloud tech is still trendy. They don't like it anyway. And two, they don't like being vendor locked in. So they don't like being. This is why you find a lot of companies are moving more. So they're not moving. What you're finding is a lot of companies are moving to on-premise. They're not abandoning the cloud solely. What they're doing is moving to a more cloud native position. A cloud native position is where they're not going to be vendor locked in to a specific cloud provider for all their services. So they're no longer just going to have all their databases coming out of Amazon. They're not going to have all their web hosting servers coming out of Amazon. They're going to have them differentiated where some of our servers are on-premise, some of our servers are in AWS, some are in Azure, some are in Google Cloud, some are in this new funny new cloud venture, some are in Oracle Cloud, some are in IBM Cloud, etc. So they want to have more control into being able to orchestrate their services on an as-need basis versus fully adopting the cloud as their new infrastructure, if that makes sense. So yes, some companies have decided, well, it's not best for us to fully be in the cloud. So we need to deplatform and do some of our stuff on premise because it's not making sense. But for most companies, especially legacy companies like McDonald's and Walmart, etc., the cloud, they can't beat it. They can't beat the cost and they can't beat the scalability aspect of it. Like there's no way you're going to have a physical server, especially with today's cost of shipping and handling for setting up physical servers across the world and maintaining them and on customer usage that are going up and down. Like it doesn't make sense to do on-premise for big companies. But when you're a smaller company, more flexible company, it makes sense for, okay, do we need how many, instead of putting 100 cloud servers in the cloud, maybe we just need to have 50 or 35 and then just have 2 of our main database servers here. Our legacy databases, which you mostly find in a lot of corporations, they have their legacy databases on premise. But it's not anything for you to be concerned about. It's just, that's just business, any aspect of business. There were some articles I read out there. I was like, man, this is just a fear-mongering article of somebody who hates the cloud, who hates cloud technology. They just, so yeah, you can look at the reports. Cloud is still growing about half of Fortune 500 companies have adopted to cloud technology. I think it's like 52%, and which is a tremendous stupid growth because when I came on in 2018, 2019, the cloud only had 24%, and that was AWS had 24% of all the databases in the world for Fortune 500 companies. So it's fear mongering more so than actual a concern, if that makes sense for you, Joe. Let me know if I answer your question or not, because I like to go direct. All right, so Dalton said, no, Jacqueline said, yep, storage file clutter. Yeah, exactly. Storage file clutter, man. I'm telling you, yo. And that's why they migrated to the cloud, was to avoid the clutter from having on-premise servers that they weren't utilizing or that were underutilized. But see, it's much harder to order 32 terabyte server and pay to have it installed, pay to have it set up, pay to have somebody configure it and maintain it, and then find out only a month later, oh, we only need to use 3 terabytes of that 32 terabyte. So now you got to send the rest back and try to get some type of refund out of it, or you got to try to sell it after market value somewhere. Versus in the cloud, you can spin up a 32 terabyte server within 3 minutes, and it scales down, auto scales down within 30 seconds to 3 terabytes. You know, with all that wasted. But what's happening again? You have most companies, they have so much. Again, as you talked about, the demigration from the cloud goes with cloud spending, cloud waste. They go hand in hand because you have the same people complaining about, oh no, it's costing too much, and you're going to often find in their infrastructure tons of cloud waste, meaning they don't have adequate engineers, cloud engineers like you, who can come and say, we can optimize your environment. You're overutilizing these servers and these services, and you're underutilizing these services that can do these services. I'm trying to speak kind of plain and simple as I possibly can. Am I making sense? Am I making sense? No, not really. Sort of, maybe. Yes. No. Hell no. Nothing today. Prepare for exam. What's your exam, Jacqueline? What exam you studying for? Hybrid environment. Yes. Oh, so Jacqueline brought up something great as well. Hybrid environment. So you're going to also find that that's going to be most common, again, because cloud is continuing to grow, that companies have just been on premise forever because that was the way to be before the cloud came. You're gonna have hybrid setups. Like, there hasn't been a company I work for that doesn't have a hybrid setup. Even as a cloud management, a cloud managed service provider company that I work for, they even had one server on premise. Literally, it was one server. But that's always that safety, caution, preventive thing. And it's kind of like you want to keep your precious safety deposit box kind of tucked away somewhere, you know what I'm saying? But you'll take risks with the cash and everything else being in different banks around the country. Hybrid setup is basically when you have on-premise servers and cloud servers working in tandem with each other in a technology stack environment. And you still have you as a cloud engineer, or you're going to one of these specialty cloud roles, cloud network engineer, cloud IAM engineer, S3 engineer, etc. You're able to easily configure these resources from within the same stack. So that's a hybrid setup. You usually have a security person who configures the IDP so that you can easily access both. That's a whole. You're going to learn this if you study for your SC 300 IM about IDPs and how to access on-premise servers such as Microsoft. I think it's Microsoft AD, and then you have your Microsoft. I forgot what the Microsoft Cloud version of your Active Directory is. Microsoft Azor 360 or something like that. I forgot. But anyway, you're going to learn how you access on-premise. It's a hybrid setup. So it's very common. Very, very, very. There's not many companies going to go through that are 100% nowadays, 100% on-premise or 100% in the cloud. They're going to do both. And companies that are really mature and mobile, but not got gigantic. You're not going to find a company like Chase that's able to just say, we're going to have like a super hybrid setup where we have multiple cloud vendors and da 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 da. No, it's too big and bulky. Too small. You're going to have a small company that makes bottle caps or something for a specific region of the States that probably have 200 employees, and probably have a team of 15 tech people. Like, they're small enough where they can get into containerization and real cloud native setups. And I don't want to get too deep into that because that's going to come a whole nother conversation. But I say all that to say, you have nothing to worry about when it comes when it comes to cloud, people saying that clouds cost too much, so they're going to get out of the cloud. Those are just people who just don't want to manage or don't know how to manage the cloud waste, spend. So, and that's a huge problem in our industry. Huge. But that's why they pay you the big bucks, because you come in and you look like a hero because you can optimize it. And you know how you can optimize it? You use things like AWS Health or AWS Dashboard, which optimizes and already tells you, well, you haven't been using these servers in 2 months or 3 years. Maybe you should consider, if you terminated them, you would save X amount of dollars. And then boom, you run this to your manager with your little cost optimizer, with your little cost allocator calculator, and you say, we can save this much money. They're gonna be like, wow, that was really brilliant of you. Can you execute on this? Sure, I can. You create your SOP for it, of course. They approve it. You go ahead and you create your ticket, and you start working on your ticket. Now it could really take you a day to finish the work, but why would you do work in just a day? It's gonna take us a whole month to finish. Right? So you're gonna do it in a whole month, and then you're gonna eliminate those cost waste spins. Boom, you're gonna remove them, those snapshots. You're gonna remove them. You're gonna terminate them old servers that ain't been used. Boom, you don't save the company $56,000 a month in just one AWS region. And they got regions all over the globe, but it's just one region. You say the 56,000, boom, you're a hero. They're gonna be like, we should promote you. We should give you a bonus. What else can you do? Can you do this at a global scale? Yes, you're gonna like, yes, I can. I think I can. I may need some help, but I think I can. Then you're gonna reach out to a person like Jacqueline, and you're gonna be like, Jacqueline, I hear that you're an S3 bucket specialist, and we have a lot of S3 buckets that we have been wasting money on that we need you to put into proper storage class to save us costs. And she's gonna say, yes, I can do it. I can do that. That's right up my alley because I've been doing it for the past 4 projects. You're gonna say, really? She's gonna say, really? And you're gonna be like, do you have your certification? She's gonna say, yeah. And you're gonna be like, okay, all right, how much money you want? And she's gonna say, I want $1,000. And you're gonna be like, we can do that. And then you're gonna hire her, and then she's gonna be like, I finally got my job offer. Hey, Demecos, look, I got my job offer. They paid me this good money. This is all thanks to you. Oh my God, as I talk to you, I'm crying right now. And I just want to thank you, and I want to thank God, because I just knew that if I just kept consistent and stuck with the faith, I would pull through. And I'm like, girl, you did it. I'm like, girl, you did it. I'm like, can we do a video? You're gonna be like, yeah, we're gonna do an interview. And I'm be like, yes, all right, cool. And then you're gonna go back to your boss, and you're gonna tell them, look, I'm putting in my 2 weeks notice because I'm gonna go work as an S3 engineer for this company that wants me to optimize their service, and and you're gonna be so happy and change your life, and we all happy, and we all made it. Thanks to staying on this video and we learning things like that, boom, you're a specialist, baby. You don't change the globe, baby. And you stop a company from going completely on premise. I made all that up on the fly, by the way. I made all that up on the fly. Sorry, guys. I'm a little animated at times. Blame it on the vodka. Yep. Why you need a good storage engineer. I told y'all I was going to get off like 20 minutes ago. Y'all tricked me. What up, Sean? What you drinking on? That's because of the whole party don't got here. I appreciate that, Joe, man. I appreciate it. All right. Somebody asked me a question. That's why you need a good engineer. Say up, yep, 100%. Oh, good. Just passed programming, scripting, now studying. Good job, girl. Go ahead, Jacqueline. Studying for project plus exam. Good. Okay. Good. Right. They're not leaving the cloud. Right. She said, where they going? Pen and paper? Oh, God. You hear me? All right, y'all. So give me a percentage of the money. Right. Hey, that's going to be the future negotiation. We're going to stop negotiating for salary, and we're going to start negotiating for percentages of how much we saved your business money and help your business make more money, because they've been utilizing the cost advantages and the scalability advantages of the cloud. Because now you can easily spin up an app in Singapore in 30 seconds because of me. All right. And that spinning up that app allowed you to bring in $3.2 million. We need to talk about my percentage. I don't want a salary. I want a percentage. You know, that's gonna be the future though. Oh, you drink Patron, but ain't about Patron or Patron. I'm drinking that tequila, 1800. So we on the same vibe, Sean. Okay, we feeling. All right, y'all. I'm getting out of here. Just want to say thank y'all for joining on tonight. Breakthrough crew. I love that y'all show up, man. It's not just about me, it's about helping everybody else. When y'all comment and ask questions and respond, it helps other people in the chat and people who are going to come on and later on and read your chat and stuff like that. And because they have the same questions, but they might not be as outspoken, you know, and they might just need that extra boost of confidence, or they might need to hear a second or third opinion. So hearing things come from you, you might give them some type of confirmation that you never know a person needed. So thank y'all for, you know, encouraging me and helping me being able to continue to pour into others, you know, because that's what this is all about. And on top of that, oh, thank you. Oh, hit that. Y'all make sure first off, I need all y'all to subscribe. Y'all, I'm working too hard. I'm working like a stripper in a cigarette club. All right. A stripper in recovery in the cigarette club. For y'all. I need you to subscribe and hit the notification bell so that every time I go live, you know when I'm going live. So I don't got to post everywhere that I'm going live because that should be exhausting. But in the meantime, if you want to get in my cloud training for cloud tech training, if you want to get in my cloud, I need some cloud security students. Please, God. Whew, that side looking dry. We need some cloud security students. Please, because I do not want to let Jennifer down. All right. We need more cloud security students. So I've been thinking about this. And I want to say this. If you know somebody or you want to be become a cloud engineer, and you want to get some of the best cloud engineering training on the planet, and you want to join do so by joining our boot camp, I do have our 30% off sale going on right now. But if you are a military professional or prior military, because y'all know I love my folks in the military. They give us so much service. They are our heroes, our real life heroes. If you are military, prior military, I'm giving you a 40% off discount on all boot camps, on the cloud engineering boot camp and the cloud security boot camp. Send me a message via email. It should be pinned to this in the chat. Send me an email and I'll send you the code to access to get that 40% off if you're prior military. But if you're not prior military, you're still gonna get 30% off, but you still got to email them to get the code. So that's really all I wanted to say. The end enrollment for boot camp will end at the end of Thanksgiving, at the end of the month, end of November. Look, I've been drinking, y'all. I'm drinking. I'm tired. I'm fatigued. I'm tired. And so, yeah, send me an email. Y'all know what to do. And appreciate y'all, man. Y'all have a great night. Be sure to share this video with your friends and kinfolk trying to get into cloud tech, curious about cloud tech, and they want to get some entertainment, some laughs along the way while learning something. You know, tell them to tune in and tap in. So, all right, y'all be great. Have a good night. Maurice, man, you late, man. I'm out.